An oil storage depot was on attack on Russian city just north of Ukraine after what the local governor said was an attack by the two Ukrainian helicopters. A video shared on the Twitter shows a blaze near apartment blocks in Belgorod, some 40 kilometers from the border. Some clips appear to show the rockets hitting the oil depot. However, the Ukrainian aircraft had not struck any targets in Russia previously. Governor Vyacheslav Glagov's claim was not confirmed by Ukrainian officials. It also comes as the Ukrainian military announced several territorial gains in the northeastern towns of Trostyanets, liberated from the Russian troops, and several areas outside Kyiv, reported back in the hands of Ukraine. The military said the territories in Chernihiv region were also liberated. The mayor of the town of Irpin said Russian forces had been completely pushed out. Ukraine also had taken over the outskirts of Kherson, full control of Mykolaiv, and even Chernobyl has come under the Ukraine control. President Vladimir Putin's spokesperson also blamed Ukraine for the attack and said the incident cannot be perceived as creating comfortable conditions for continuing the talks with Kyiv. So far, those peace talks have made little progress anyway. The city of 370,000 lies just north of Ukraine's second city, Kharkiv, which have been heavily shelled by Russian artillery and remain surrounded by the Russian force by little. Governor Glagov said in the Telegram message there was an attack at the oil depot of Russia because of an airstrike carried out by the two Ukrainian AirForce helicopters, which entered the Russian territory at a low altitude. Russia's Interfax news agency reported that the residents nearby were evacuated. It said 8 fuel tanks were attacked and nearly 200 firefighters were seen. The depot is run by the Russian state oil firm Rosneft. Later, the queues of cars formed at the local petrol station, but Mr. Glagov said the Belgorod's fuel supplies were still plentiful. On 29 March, several explosions were reported at the ammunition depot near the Belgorod. Ukraine nor confirmed nor denies the allegation Ukrainian helicopters attack on the Russian oil depot in Belgorod. But if it is confirmed, it would be the first time that Ukrainian aircraft have flown over to the Russian airspace to hit a target, bringing the war home to Russia. Ukrainian helicopter pilots have plenty of experience in flying low and fast to avoid being detected by the military radar and air defense systems. They have been doing exactly that in the Donbas region in eastern Ukraine for years. But if this is true, flying at night well into Russian territory to launch an attack on an enemy fuel depot would have required extraordinary bravery as well as finely honed flying skills. Low-flying helicopters are still vulnerable to short-range air defense systems. Flying at night would have lessened that risk, but heightened the danger of hitting an object near the ground. Mi-24, the hind helicopters, is also known as the flying tank. Its rockets would have been the weapon deployed to target the oil depot in Belgorod, Russia. This alleged attack alone will not dramatically alter the battle, but it could show that Ukraine has managed to keep its air force functioning and give a huge boost to the morale of Ukrainian military, and it shows that Russia is not control of Ukrainian airspace.
Founded by Jeff Bezos on July 5, 1994, Amazon has grown as the world's largest online retailer by revenue and market cap. At first, Amazon started selling online books, and today, the company sells items ranging from clothing to home decor, furniture, and everything in between and beyond. Have you ever thought how big Amazon is? And what all it does own and run and have? How big is Amazon? Amazon is one of the most reputable companies. The company holds the highest value of its stock share in the market now, staying at the top by market cap. In the last 3 months of 2020, the retail company made sales of $125.56 billion with a net worth of $1.7 trillion. Amazon warehouses are 800,000 square feet, where products are stored, packed, and shipped. Not only does the company own its e-commerce platform, but also it has many subsidiaries in control. These subsidiaries include companies like Whole Foods Market, Goodreads, and Diapers.com. Amazon's main business areas include Amazon Prime, cloud computing services, entertainment industry, movies streaming. Amazon inventory includes more than 12 million items belonging to different categories. Amazon, a big e-commerce giant, definitely has competitors in the online retail industry, like Walmart. But the fact is that Amazon is big enough to surpass Walmart's net sales. According to Forbes in May, Amazon has become the largest online retailer, leaving Walmart behind. In 2015, the company raised its market cap to the top. Holding annual sales of $232 billion, the company surpassed all its competitors. Today, Amazon has more than 5 million sellers across the globe. Simply put, any retailer who wants to put their physical goods online for selling will have a hard time growing as big as Amazon. Amazon owns 47% of the United States e-commerce market share in 2020. Recently, the company owns cloud computing, e-commerce, artificial intelligence, consumer electronics, digital products, self-driving cars, and more. Does Amazon own all the products that it has listed on its platform? The answer is no. Almost half of the products that Amazon sells through their platform belong to small business owners, entrepreneurs, and other sellers. Amazon is the second biggest private employer company in the world, having more than 1 million global employees. This company has the highest brand value worldwide. Additionally, Amazon Prime, a 2-day delivery service, has 142.5 million subscribers by the end of 2020. Besides, the company is among the Big 5 companies in the IT industry of the United States. On top of all, Amazon is the most influential global company in cultural and economic aspects. With many innovative products and services, the company is not stopping here. There are more plans on the go. Recently, the company introduced Amazon Go, a convenient grocery store where users only need to pick the products off the shelves. After that, the virtual cart carries the products and weighing sensors calculate the purchasing amount. The company is planning to open such stores in London as well. Moreover, the company is about to bring this technology to the Hyundai department store in South Korea. Bloomberg reported that home cleaning robots by Amazon are also in the making to assist people. Further, Amazon is working to make Alexa, a cloud-based voice assistant, more interactive with human beings to make it their natural companion. With all these facts, Amazon has further growth plans in the pipeline, and we will see more in 2021.